Hi there and welcome to this week's vlog. Now we have at church a group called Church Together. It happens on a Tuesday afternoon after school, and it's an invitation to children and their parents or carers to come along. In fact, we do serve tea and coffee before the school pick up for any parents, carers who want to drop in, have a chat, have a cup of coffee or tea, and then they go pick the kids up and bring them back. And it's a great time that we have together, a time of fun, a time of faith, exploring the Christian faith, a time that we just enjoy being together. We sing a song, a Christian song. The kids love to do the actions too. We have a craft work, we have some games, kids like to play the games, and we have a short Bible talk on the theme of the day. And usually there's a handout or something for the kids to take away. Now, one of the handouts from a session a week or two ago, or a few weeks ago actually, I just caught my attention. There was a spare one lying around, so I picked it up. Here it is. It's a tree, as you see, and it says, "I will bless you and you will be a blessing." It comes from Genesis chapter 12. This is the account of God coming to Abram, as he was known then, before he became Abraham, and God says to him, "I want you to leave your family, your home, the place you know, the people you know, and go." And you think Abraham's thinking to himself, where does God want me to go? Well, actually, God doesn't tell him. God says, "Go to a place I will show you." And so it took an enormous amount of faith for Abram to respond positively to God's command, God's call. To up sticks and leave behind all your security really, and go to a place that God says he will show you. So God called Abraham and he was obedient. He went off, and as part of that call, God gives Abram a promise, not the first or the last promise he gives. He says, "I will make you like a great nation and I will bless you." So God promises his blessing as Abram is obedient. And then God says, "I will make your name great and you will be a blessing." So on this bit of paper, it picks up the points, "I will bless you and you will be a blessing." So there's two things I want to tease out of that, one which I already mentioned. It's the faith. When God calls us to something, especially when we don't actually fully know what that might entail, how obedient are we? How willing are we to step out in faith? I remember when I first sensed that God was calling me into the full-time ministry in the Methodist Church. I kind of thought to myself, how on earth can I do that? I've not got the gifts, the talents, the abilities. But I knew God was calling me, and I believe that if God calls you, he equips you, gives you what you need, even if you don't feel you've got that yourself. And so life is often, it's not just a one-time thing, but God calls us to little acts of faith, sometimes big acts of faith. And are we willing, like Abram, to say, "Yes, God, I don't know what this means. I don't know where you're leading me. I don't really understand it, but I'm going to say yes to you." Are we willing to say yes to God? We're in the period of Advent. Of course, one of the greatest examples of that is Mary, when the angel came to her and told her she's going to have a baby. She's not even married. She's not had sexual relationships with Joseph, her betrothed. She's a virgin, and yet this astounding news is given, and Mary says, may it be to me as you have said." She's trusting God in that awesome situation. So faith is the first thing. The other is, the sheet says, "I will bless you and you will be a blessing." And that's something I've often taught, that whatever God gives to us, he gives it, not that we can hang on to it, guard it, keep it to ourselves, but so that we can give it away. Blessed to bless. My mind went back, as I was thinking about that, to a song we used to sing when I was part of a young people's group. We used to go around leading services, and often the song we would sing was that one, freely, freely you have received, freely, freely give. And that comes from Jesus' words himself in Matthew 10, as he sends out the 12 disciples on mission. And he says to them, you've received freely, now go and freely give. Everything God gives to us is so that we can give it away. Another lovely hymn is Make Me a Channel of Your Peace. And we're called to be channels, to give away what God gives to us, to bless others with the blessing that God gives to us. So when we experience God's love, we're called to give it away. When we experience the joy of a relationship with God through Jesus, we're called to express that and allow that to flow out from us, to overflow, to bubble over. Everything that God gives to us, the peace that passes understanding, as the Bible says, even in the toughest of times, we're called to share that peace with others. And Christmas, it's often said, is a time for giving, isn't it? And as we grow older, get more mature, the blessing I've found anyway is not so much in the receiving of gifts, but the giving of gifts. And as followers of Jesus, we're called to be givers. Jesus himself said it's better to give than to receive. So a couple of thoughts there. Faith, are we willing to answer the call? And blessed, to be a blessing. Thanks so much for listening today. God bless you.